Have you ever wanted to be the kind of person who stays calm no matter what? Someone who doesn't get shaken by mean comments, being turned down, losing something important, or when people let you down? Have you ever hoped for a time when that quiet hurt inside you finally stops, even though you act like everything's okay on the surface? Maybe you're sick of always trying to make others happy, of putting on a tough face all the time, when deep down you just want to break from all that pressure of seeming unbreakable. But let me share something with you that maybe no one else has said straight up. As long as you're running from pain, it will keep running your life. As long as you try to shut it out to protect yourself or hide away, you'll stay stuck, controlled by everything around you, by the words that cut deep, by the things people do that let you down, by the quiet moments that tear you up inside. And this isn't about being weak. It's just how it is for most folks. The only difference is some people are better at faking it. Carl Jung, one of the big names in deep psychology, said we're not defined by what happens to us, but by what we decide to turn into. That's the real secret. It's not about blocking out the world or turning cold and not caring. It's about pulling everything together, shining a light on the stuff that's messing with you in the shadows. Real strength isn't about never feeling pain. It's about knowing exactly who you are, even when it hurts bad. That if you're reading this right now, it's not random. This is for you if you're done with letting everything and everyone hurt you. It's for you if you feel like others always have some weird hold over your feelings that you can't figure out. I want to show you it doesn't have to stay like that. But to get there, you'll have to face some hard truths that might sting, and maybe for the first time, that sting will actually help set you free. Let's jump in. You think the hurt comes from out there, from what people do, from their bad words, from being left behind, from surprises that knock you over. But the real tough truth is this. None of that can really touch you unless there's already a sore spot inside you. What hurts isn't just what they do. It's what it stirs up in you. It's the story you tell yourself about it, the old hurts you never dealt with, the empty feeling you cover up with toughness, pride, or that need to look like you've got it all together. Jung teaches us that the pain we get from the outside world is just a mirror of what's not pulled together inside us yet. That's why some people can handle huge messes and stay clear-headed, while others fall apart over a small remark. It's not about the event. It's about where it lands on you. And here's a truth that might feel uncomfortable. You still hurt so much because, deep down, you think you can make the world treat you a certain way. You're still trying to be good enough, smart enough, tough enough, kind enough, like that will make sure no one ever hurts you. But thinking you can control it all is just a fake idea. And holding on to it keeps you tense, always guessing what's next, trying to dodge what you can't avoid. Want to stop the hurt? Then stop trying to block suffering. What you need isn't more control, it's more understanding. As long as you think others have to change for you to feel okay, you'll be stuck depending on what they do. Your real freedom starts when you get that everything from outside only matters if it echoes something inside you. And that's where the real fight is, in the unconscious, the stuff you don't see, don't get, and don't handle, which ends up handling you. That's what we'll look at next. Get ready to go a bit deeper, because that's where real change starts. If this is clicking for you, hit that subscribe button and join the channel. Thanks for being here. The biggest lie you've heard is that you're in charge of your life just because you're awake and going about your day. You're not. At least not while you're on autopilot, reacting without knowing why, feeling stuff without getting where it's from, making choices you end up messing up later. Carl Jung made it clear, until you bring the unconscious into the light, it will run your life, and you'll think it's just bad luck. And that's exactly what's going on with you now. The hurt you feel, the sudden anger, the sadness that hits out of nowhere, none of it's random. These are signals from parts of you that you've forgotten, ignored, or pushed down. Jung called this hidden area the unconscious, and it's not just fuzzy thoughts. It's a strong force, full of memories, old hurts, wants, and fears you don't want to face, but they still decide how you feel and what you do. You wonder why some words crush you while others brush them off. Because those words poke at raw spots inside you that are still fresh. And if they're fresh, it's because you never faced them. You just swept them under the rug, and now you keep stumbling over them. Jung said we can't change anything until we accept it. Judging it doesn't free you. It traps you more. And what have you been doing? Judging yourself, pushing stuff down, quieting yourself like that fixes it. The truth is, the unconscious doesn't go away just because you ignore it. It finds sneakier ways to show up. In bad relationships you keep repeating, in ways you mess up your own success, in worries and fears that pop up when things seem good. This isn't bad luck. It's your unconscious trying to wake you up, but you keep hitting snooze. Want to be someone nothing can hurt? Stop running from what's inside you. Because the more you try to shield yourself from outside pain, the more open you are to inside pain. But there's a way out, and it's not about defending yourself. It's about pulling it all together. Becoming unbreakable isn't about fighting back. It's about deep understanding. That's what we'll see next. What it really means to be unshaken, and why this power comes from accepting things, not from walls. Let's keep going. Most people think the only way to avoid hurt is to shut down. They build walls, put on fake faces, create emotional shields, and act like nothing bothers them. They say, I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'm over it. But inside, they're still hurting, still falling apart slowly. Because the issue was never feeling, it's not knowing what you're feeling and why. And that only happens to people who don't know themselves yet. Jung put it right. Know all the theories, master all the skills, but when dealing with a human soul, just be another human soul. And that soul you're hiding behind a tough, unbreakable, controlled act? It's yelling to be noticed. Being emotionally strong isn't about being cold. It's not about ignoring pain, skipping fights, or pretending not to care. It's about pulling things together, accepting, bringing out everything you've hidden in the dark. You don't become unbreakable by putting up a wall between you and the world. You become unbreakable when you realize no one can touch what's already accepted inside you. When you pull in your shadows, your fears, your mistakes, your weak spots, you stop reacting to every little thing. You watch, you choose. You're not a puppet to your feelings anymore. And that's real freedom. Jung called this individuation, the way of becoming who you truly are, not what others want, not what you thought you had to be to fit in, but what comes from inside, from mixing light and dark, ego and unconscious. Individuation isn't about being perfect, Jung said, but about becoming whole. You don't need to be a better person. You just need to be complete. And here's the secret no one shared. The more you run from pain, the more it follows you. The more you try not to feel it, the weaker you get. But when you face your own hurts, when you accept who you are with all the good and bad, the high and low, nothing outside can break you down. But this takes guts to look inside, to drop the masks, to feel. Because it's right in the pain where change starts. And that's what we'll find next. How suffering, instead of being your enemy, can open the door to your real power. Let's go deeper, without fear this time. You learned to hate pain from when you were small. You were told suffering means you're weak. Crying is pointless. Feeling too much makes you easy to hurt. So you started running, avoiding, denying. But the more you escape suffering, the more it chases you. And worse, it changes into other things like worry, anger, not caring, boredom, or ways you hurt yourself without knowing why. Pain you ignored doesn't vanish. It carves paths inside you until one day, boom, everything falls apart. Jung saw suffering differently. He thought pain was a message from your soul, a wake-up call from the unconscious, the way your whole self talks to get you noticed. He said depression is like a lady in black. If she shows up, don't shove her away. Invite her in, give her coffee, hear what she says. But you don't listen. You quiet yourself, distract, stay busy, numb out. Anything to not look at what's important. What is this pain trying to tell you? The truth is, suffering hurts so bad because you're fighting yourself. There's a part of you that wants to grow, and another that wants to keep things the same. Something inside screams for change, but your ego, used to being in charge, tries to shut it down. And that's where the pain comes from. Change hurts, growing hurts, letting go of old ideas, cutting bad connections, letting old parts die. It's like grieving inside, a death and new start. But it's in this broken space that something fresh can grow. Because when everything inside you breaks down, when you're sure things crumble, when pain shows your weak sides, you can finally see who you really are, without shields, without acting, without masks. And right there, suffering turns holy because it brings you low before the one thing that can free you, yourself. Jung knew this. He got that suffering isn't a mistake. It's part of how things work. Pain isn't the end. It's the start of the road to becoming whole. The issue is most people quit before getting through that dark part. They run, distract, go back to shallow living. But not you. If you're here, you're ready to go through. And next, we'll see how this going through happens, how the individuation path, even if it's alone and hard, is what finally frees you. Let's keep on. It's getting deeper. Few people start the individuation journey, and even fewer finish it. Because this road doesn't give easy times, no promises, no ego protection, it breaks it. Jung said individuation is becoming who you are, but that means first unlearning who you think you are, and that hurts more than any outside rejection. You start seeing that a lot of what made you you was fake. You're not your wins, not your hurts, not the face you made to be liked or looked up to. All that was for surviving, but surviving isn't living. Individuation is life's push past just getting by. It's when the unconscious shoves up everything pushed down, hidden, twisted. Individuation needs you to dissolve the persona. Jung called it just a mask for fitting in. In other words, you have to rip off your own cover to see what's under. It's in this that you start becoming unbreakable, not because nothing touches you, but because you've been through the tough stuff. You've faced your inner monsters, looked at your shame, your need for others, your anger, and said, I see you, and you don't run me anymore. It's this clear view of your own dark side that gives you power that doesn't need likes, wins, or control. You don't need everyone to love you, don't need to win every fight, don't need to look strong, because you know who you are, and no one can steal that. True emotional shield isn't a hard outside, it's a strong inside. It's pulling all your parts into one aware center that stays steady through bad times. You might feel pain, but it doesn't shatter you. You might get hurt, but you don't lose who you are. Because you've stopped just reacting and become complete. You've stopped shallow living and started deep living. But this depth costs something, being alone. Not that you'll be by yourself, but few can join you here. Most are stuck on the surface, in masks, scared to feel. When you start freeing yourself, you naturally pull away, but it's not from being better, it's growing. You don't fit in the old hiding spots anymore. And this leads to the last part, awareness as your shield. Because it's not toughness that guards you, it's clear seeing. This is what we'll talk about finally. Consciousness as the only place where nothing has power over you. Let's finish this together. We're close. Now that you're here, let me say it plain. Nothing will protect you from outside hurt if you stay blind to what's inside. Words will keep cutting, rejections will keep burning, losses will keep pulling you down until you wake up. And waking up isn't some magic thing, it's a choice every day. It's looking inside even when it hurts, owning what you feel without pointing fingers at others, your past, or luck. Carl Jung said what you fight keeps going, what you accept changes. You've spent your life fighting, the fear of not being enough, the sting of being left, the hurt of being alone, the pain of not being noticed. But what did you do? You hid, quieted, tried to control it all, tried to be perfect, tried to be tough. And it's left you worn out, tired of battling the world and yourself. But now you know, real protection from feelings isn't being hard, it's being aware. It's not walls, it's wide open understanding. When you know your triggers, your habits, your hurts, what others do loses its punch. You still feel, but you don't sink. You still hurt, but you don't vanish. And that flips everything. What guards you isn't hiding from life, it's jumping in deep. People on the surface get tossed by every wave. Those who go deep find quiet, steady power below. And that's where you're going. When you live from that spot of pulling together, being here, accepting, the world can try to hit you, but it finds no target if this touched you. If something woke up inside, write in the comments. I choose awareness. Let's make a group of people who don't want to just get by acting tough, but live real. And don't forget, the next one is part of this too. It's key. Keep going. True change starts when you don't quit after the first step. See you there.